को हदिया कर दें और बिलखुसूस उस ज़ाकिर अहले बैत और शायर अहले बैत को कि जो गुज़श्ता साल तक अपने घर में मजलिस का इनेकाद करके उलमा शोरा और खुतबा को दावत देते थे, कलाम सुनते भी थे, पढ़ते भी थे। मेरी मुराद शायर अहले बैत मरहूम सैयद वहीदुल हसन हाशमी से है। एक मरतबा उनकी रूह को भी हदिया कर दें तिलावत करके सूरह फातिहा की। ला हौला वला कुव्वता इल्ला बिल्लाहिल अलिय्यिल अज़ीम। हस्बुनल्लाहु व निअमल वकील, निअमल मौला व निअमन नसीर। औज़ु बिल्लाहि मिनश शैतानिर रजीम। बिस्मिल्लाहिर रहमानिर रहीम। अल्हम्दुलिल्लाहि रब्बिल आलमीन वस्सलातु वस्सलामु अला अशरफिल अंबिया वल मुरसलीन रहमतन लिल आलमीन। अर्रसूलिल मुसद्ददिल मुस्तफ़ल अमजदिल महमूदिल अहमद अबुल क़ासिम मुहम्मद सल्लल्लाहु
सल्ली अला मुहम्मद व आले मुहम्मद
व आलिहि तय्यबीन अत्ताहिरीन अल-मअसूमीन अल-मज़लूमीन अल-मुंतजबीन। अम्मा बाद फ़क़द क़ाल अल्लाहु तबारक व तआला फ़ी किताबिहिल मजीद व फ़ुरक़ानिहिल हमीद व क़ौलुल हक़। बिस्मिल्लाहिर रहमानिर रहीम। इन्नस्सलाता तन्हा अनिल फ़हशाइ वल मुनकर। सलवात।
अल्लाहुम्मा सल्ली अला मुहम्मद व आले मुहम्मद।
Indeed, namaz restrain from shameful deeds and evil. It was the translation of this verse, and yesterday we were trying to explain importance and the significance of the Quran Majid and the recitation of Quran Majid, and there were the few questions about the reading and recitation of the Quran Majid after the completion of the Majlis. But before I continue my subject, I would like to appreciate our young boy for addressing this gathering. Alhamdulillah, in this young age, he talked about the tragic event of Karbala. This is the right time to prepare our youth, our kids, our children. The problem in the society where the people, they want to teach their children either in the age of 15 or later. Because people, they are thinking that still there is a time. Now first we will start their school and the academic education, because we don't want to put burden on him, and that education is very important. I am not denying the importance of academic education, but at the same time we must remember Islamic education is more important than the academic education. I am not dividing education into the two parts by saying that ilmul adyan this is the Islamic education, this is the non-Islamic education. This is the big mistake. Because when Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wasallam, salawat padiyega,
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
when he talks about the importance of the knowledge and the significance of the knowledge, there are a number of the ahadith. More than 100 ayat and verses which talks about the education and the importance of the education. The first 5 verses in the Quran Majid which talks about the reading. We do not believe that Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam salawat.
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad.
He was unable to read and write. He came to teach the people and the universe. اقرأ باسم ربك الذي خلق. Read with the name of your Lord. الذي خلق الإنسان من علق. Who created the man from the clod. اقرأ وربك الأكرم. Of course, one of the title of Allah, one of the name of Allah, and one of the attribute of Allah is Kareem. He is Rahman, He is Rahim, He is Kareem. But in these 5 verses where Allah talks about the importance of the knowledge and significance of the knowledge, here Allah is not remembering him with the name of Kareem, but he said Akram. Akram, it is af'alu tafzil in Arabic language. You cannot find in any language that thing. Kareem, generous. But the Akram is most generous. So when Allah talks about the wealth, health, prosperity, or the everything whatever related to this world, Allah said, I am Kareem. But when Allah talks about the knowledge and wisdom, Allah is not remembering him with the title of the Kareem, but he remembers him Akram. This is the generosity of Allah. So first 5 verses. One more thing. Why? There are the 5 verses. Why not 4 or 6 or 7?
MashaAllah.
Why the first 5 verses? Remember, beginning of the Quran is started with the 5 and the completion of the Quran 114. There are 114 surahs. How many Masumins and Infallibles? There are 14. And these 14, they brought the message of the one. Allah. So 114.
Wow.
So 100, the first number 1, this unit is for Allah, for the unity of Allah. And then the 14, they are our 14 Masumin. So first 5 verses. But remember one more thing, when I'm talking about the importance of the knowledge, remember we must prepare our children, we must teach them in young age. Why in young age? Because there is a hadith from our 6th Imam, Imam Jafar al-Sadiq alayhi salatu wasalam. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad. Maybe I could not start that subject which I was trying to continue yesterday because I got the inspiration from this small speech. But Alhamdulillah, it was informative, well prepared. And Alhamdulillah, I am sure if parents, they continue their contribution in this direction, inshallah, future is bright. Hadith from Rasulullah. He said, Al-ilmu fi as-sighar kan-naqshi fi al-hajar. Knowledge
acquiring knowledge in the young age. It is lasting, like someone he wrote on his stone. It's indelible. You can't abolish it. You can't remove it. You can't cancel it, because it will remain. If you want to remain the wilayat of Ahlul Bayt alayhimus salatu wasalam, so don't think about in the age of 15 and 20, because remember one thing, when our 12th Imam-e-Zamana, Ajjalallahu ta'ala farahum sharif, salawat padiyega ba
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
when he will reappear, inshallah we will talk about the knowledge of our Imam and the ma'rifat of our Imam. Enemies of Ahlul Bayt, they are enemies. But we must be worried about ourselves, because there are thousands of the people, those who believe in Imam, those who remember our Imam, those who were saying, I am the follower of the Imam, but they will not in the army of Imam, and they will stand against the Imam. Allahu Akbar. Why it will happen? Because the religion is only on their tongue. It's like a flavor.
MashaAllah, MashaAllah.
You know what? When our third Imam Hussain alayhi salatu wasalam, Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. This is my humble request to my brothers and especially to my kids. When we remember any of our Imam, one of our duties is pay respect to them. And how do we respect to our Imam? By reciting Salawat. Why it is? What is the source? From where you are saying? On what ground you are saying? Because Quran said, Inna Allah wa malaikatu yusalluna ala nabi ya ayyuhal ladhina amanu sallu alayhi wa sallimu taslima. Salawat padhega ba
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa
So
ali
this is one kind of
Muhammad.
respect. So we must pay our respect to our Imam by reciting Salawat. So now the issue is, when our Imam, he will come. At that time, there are the people, those who will be in the army of the enemy of Imam. They will fight against the Imam. We can't think, we can't imagine. But this is the truth. And remember one more thing about our duty and duty of the parents. There will be the big group of the youth, those who are in the age of 20. They will be punished by our 12th Imam. I'm not talking about the enemies, I'm talking about the Shia families, youth. Why? Because before the completion of the 15 years, it was the job of your parents, and thereafter when you became Baligh for the period of 5 years, what you did? What was your performance? What was your contribution? What you learned, what you did practice? One more thing from the history. Remember, arrival of our 12th Imam, Imam-e-Zamana Ajjalallahu ta'ala farajum sharif, salawat
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
Of course, it is mentioned in the ahadith, it is mentioned in the ayat. The same way, arrival of our Rasul, the last prophet. Zabur talks about him. Hazrat Daud, he talks about him. Torah talks about him, which we call Torah. Hazrat Musa alayhi salam, he talks about him. Book and the prophets. Hazrat Isa, he talks about him. And the Injil and the Bible talks about him. But before that, I would like to correct one thing. Whenever we are talking about the Asmani Kitab, Asmani books, we are saying Zabur, Torah, Injil, then Quran.